We'll see how it goes. Oh, nice. It actually looks like it's working on the other YouTube, which is good. Let's see if this YouTube's going right. It should be amazing. Seems like we're going. Now all we need is Instagram. Wow, they're all working. That's awesome. Cool beans. Awesome. Oh, we got to go live on Facebook now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Well, I'm pumped because Instagram has been a pain in the butt. And I know I start all these with that, but got to celebrate the wins. The fact that all the streaming's working currently on both my YouTubes, both my Twitches, Facebook, Instagram. That's a huge win. So, hey everyone, trying a little bit of a different format so we can get the time down here. Apologies, got some like kind of like not Vaseline, it's called A&D ointment. My face is just like chafed between sweating and kind of the cold air. Something's going on there, so hoping this helps it out. But you see a little bit there. It's kind of like glistening. Anyways, had a pretty good day today. There was parts of it like I think it's funny because when you're present with your feelings, sometimes you feel crazy. Like I'm not necessarily suppressing the feelings anymore. So like there'll be moments of highs, lows, stress comes at you. But the big thing is like dealing with that stress when it does come. Um, I guess in a lot of ways, like I did bite off a little bit more than I could chew, got me a little overwhelmed. And then towards the end of the day, when it came time to go to the gym, I was like, man, I thought I'd have way more done by now. But thank God I went to the gym. Big shout out Mario for getting me there. If he wasn't going, I probably would have skipped. So it's nice having some accountability. Do whatever you can to put a system in place, whether it's a person, kind of that's not forcing you to go, but make sure you go, or whatever it is. Even just calendar items. I think setting up your calendar with kind of your full schedule is important. That was a huge step forward. Did cause a little bit of tension to me, just kind of planning wise, but it's good to get ahead of it rather than a month from now when you're like, oh crap, why didn't I plan better and stuff like that. So it's nice to have the issue a month and ahead that you can start to kind of work through it. And ultimately, I will figure it out. But yeah, the gym was huge, godsend. I don't think it's always the gym for everyone, but for me, I just have a big commitment to going to the gym now. And so that's huge that I made it. Really excited about that overall. At least like day 3 or 4 in a row. Want to keep doing that. Definitely don't want to hit less than 5 days a week, but keep busy and always just work out like walks, bike rides, push ups at home, hit the jump rope, stuff like that. Yeah, so unfortunately, like I said, I kind of looked at my schedule for the next month and I don't think it would be fair to the people in the play to do it because there's the chances are, if I look at my schedule, basically beyond that first week, like March 5th through March 24th, I'm kind of like every day doing something and it's right at the time where like shifts are changing. So like I can't expect to get out of work on time, especially where I'm new, just starting. Need to be able to take on more shifts. I really don't want to be someone who's saying no to anything. And so unfortunately, when I applied for the play or tried out audition, I wasn't really guaranteed the bartending job. And maybe as it got closer, should have maybe made that decision. But it wasn't until I really saw like what the full commitment was. So I'm going to reach out tomorrow and just let them know. I am going to offer myself as an alternate and still would love to learn the lines if they'd let me and maybe show up to some things. But I think it'd be irresponsible to actually do it. It's terrible, right? Like that was bumming me out. I'm someone that like, I want to look good. I want to be a man of my word. But I think if you know you're not going to get something done, it's not quitting. It's like doing the right thing here. And it would actually be maybe malicious of me to try to juggle it all. And then the last thing I want is to lose that great opportunity, working at a new location down in Merle's, and that really going to be good for me, getting friends, community, great money year round, or especially in the summer months. And we're coming on those summer months. So it'd be a really good hand in hand with real estate. I'm really bummed about it though, because I was excited for the play. You should see me last night. I ran through those lines like honestly like at least 10 times. And I just kept like adding new flares and stuff like that. So either way, without ruining it, like I'll still like promote it and hopefully people go and check out the play. But I'm happy to kind of get in a character for you guys and maybe do a read at some point just to show what coulda, woulda, should have been. Don't get discouraged though. I'm going to be back at another play later, probably when the season slows down a little bit. Would love to also take on kind of a film or short film or short play myself. So definitely want to be talking to the director and figure out ways that I can get involved, stay involved, and just continue learning. So I think it is a great experience. Let's see. Yeah. So Bible study had some conflicts, which was mostly honestly because of the play. So I think it's a tough decision, but like, they say like God leaves a sign. I think the Bible study mixed with bartending just helped me make that decision a little bit, where I think Bible study is good for me. It's called Life Group, which is really good. Really just overall going to be a good time. Yes. Coastal baseball. There's also some conflicts there, but now there'll be less because the play was just kind of overlapping with that. But excited. Coastal baseball is going to be a great time. They actually go pretty crazy from February 16th right through like March 15th, I want to say. And then they kind of take a break until April 19th. And then there's a whole bunch of games. And I think the season wraps up kind of like mid-May or something like that. It's going to be sweet. There's going to be a couple games on my dad's birthday, like a doubleheader. So that'll be fun to celebrate with him, his 66th birthday. There's one game the day before my birthday, which would be cool. Maybe get my sister some tickets with her kids. We can see what that's like. Also really excited, like in a couple Fridays, there's a triple header. I think it's a sweet day to come to the games. If you guys can get tickets, maybe come to one or all of those. I think it'll be a great time. I do find myself like the thought of going to these tailgates. It'll be interesting not drinking, but I don't see it being a huge problem. Just gonna find other ways to enjoy myself. Just make some content. Try to maybe challenge people like jump roping. Just funny little things that are both entertaining for me and then entertaining for others. I think that'd be cool. Cool. So that's the first little list here. Hoping I get through it pretty quick. I'm not really doing my to-do list as much, so I'm hoping these formats will stay kind of close to 10 minutes, maybe a little bit under it. So yeah, I mean, I don't want to, there's no pressure, right? Like, I love working with my clients. I'm just continuing to do open houses each weekend, trying to get 2 in at least every weekend. And I really could be doing a little bit more prep work to help get the neighbors there and stuff like that. I've lucked out that, whether it's me manifesting or what, like there's been a lot of people showing up, but I think that's a cop out because manifesting actually means like taking action, not just like saying things are going to happen. And so in the next 2 days, I'd like to kind of get to those locations, scout them out, do some kind of, not recruiting in the neighborhood, but just like, getting around the neighborhood, talking to neighbors, inviting them to my open house. One of the agents who's actually the listing agent offered me like $50 to make it fun. So I'm going to be excited for that. And then, yeah, I mean, this Sunday we're back at 4661, like I mentioned. We're going to get that place sold. Be ready. There'll be some marketing videos. Try to make them fun, make them interesting, but also keep them professional or have a version of it, at least that's professional to attract people. And yeah, so the main point with the clients is like, there's a couple people that are kind of close, just really trying to keep putting things in front of them without being annoying. And, I think it's helpful ultimately. But like even right now, I did some of the research, but I didn't send it to them. And I really won't be able to send it till tomorrow because I don't want to send them like a late email, is what it is. I'm also excited to potentially buy myself, like buy something. And I do have someone that wants to partner with me. So just going to keep looking at that. I have my eyes on these like $250,000 short-term rental allowed place in Conway. I'm just a little concerned because they're not that close to the beach. So I'm a little bit afraid that like the short-term rental market wouldn't be as great for those, but you are near coastal. So there's something there. I'm not really sure who would be the property manager. So that's kind of a consideration, but I'd love, if I can get something for under 250, great. I'll be a partner. I'm also looking personally for myself, something that's like around 100,000 just to get started, which is good because I actually have a client that's also doing that, kind of looking Section 8 and stuff like that. So I always love the opportunity to learn. Really down here, you can get a whole range of things. I'd actually might post this one that's on for like $975. Absolutely dream home, right? Like if you were up in Boston, this thing's going easily like 4 or 5 million, Hingham and stuff like that. You're going to be near the beach. There's this one I actually saw that was only 800,000 and it was absolutely gorgeous. I'm not sure if I can post it because it's not necessarily my brokerage, but I love it. Like someone I'm going to show to one of my clients, absolutely breathtaking. You have like double door, front door, pool at the back. I don't remember what there's some other like amenity that's into like a hot tub maybe, but just like beautiful backyard, lot of space, a lot of room, and you're really only like a quarter mile from the beach, which is so awesome. Short term allowed, long term allowed. Probably gonna do a little research on it myself. I can't afford it right now, but would love for my client to take a look at it. They're trying to be a little closer to the beach, which I understand, but it would be nice to ultimately, not convince it. I think it's a great property, so it's one of the nicest ones we've seen. A little bit high in the price, but I think it is actually what it's worth. Cool. Yeah, so I did mention the other day, like both my sisters trying to go in a house. One of them seems to be going forward, which is good. Been helping her out. Shout out Melissa, who might still be here. And then the other one, unfortunately, just after we looked at the HOA and the price, just didn't make sense. Like they were charging like $70 a month for water, which is kind of crazy. Like I basically said, it seems like someone's like running a laundry service or something like that. Like it's a lot of money. It like I guess there's like 3-bedroom, 4 bedrooms, but to me, like even on my worst days when I was basically running water constantly, um, I did not use that much. So that's something there. The other thing I'm looking for still is like an event space. So if anyone knows somewhere that can fit like between 50 to 100 people for less than $500 for like a whole night renting it, definitely let me know. Trying to get a comedy night going. I know there's some comedy coming through. I think the more comedy, the better. Ultimately, there's a lot of people that have interest. There's about I think like 20 or so comedians that reached out trying to get an open mic. And I wasn't gatekeeping. I actually posted to them like about the Thursday open mic I've been going to. So it seems like there might be some people going in there. I might have some competition, which would be interesting, but it'll be good to learn from people and, make that like a mixed media of both artists, poetry, you have music artists, and then you have comedians as well. So that's interesting. I'd love to run the event. Like I said, my neighbor Mario, sorry to drop your name here. He's being a little hesitant. He's a little nervous of like, oh, what about insurance and costs? And I do think like the first time it might be tough to really sell it. But I think after you get something going monthly or bi-weekly, it's totally doable. I'd love to put on other promotions, said it before. But yeah, I'm still looking. And there's one place I've targeted. It's huge. And I think like monthly, they want something like $3,000 to $5,000 a month, which I don't want to pay, right? Like I'm not trying to take out that much risk. But I'd love to ask them like, hey, what about for one night? Like, could we do a $400 deal for the space? And I'd have to figure out chairs and whatnot, but it's something ultimately I want to do. So worth finding out. All right, 11 minutes. So we're already kind of rearing in time. And this isn't really a to-do list as much as it's just like what's on my thoughts for the day. I already mentioned the open house post to come. Yeah, I talked about event space and the comedy, so that's weird. Yeah, and so donations, I'm kind of on the fence whether I want to accept them myself to try to help me get out there. I think it's kind of corny and cheesy, so I'm not going to quite do that. But I do want to promote some charities and stuff that I support. I definitely love Fresh Brewed Coffee House. They're a great platform. They're a nonprofit there. This Saturday, there's actually the Heart of Stoke. And I always mess it up and want to say stroke. I don't know why. That's not what it is. Heart of Stoke. And it has to do with like getting skateboards and equipment to kids that don't have the money, but they want to be, involved in skateboarding and, BMXing, probably scootering, I guess. I haven't really seen too many scooters, but it's a great cause. Definitely worth checking out. I'll probably put the links in there. Worth noting, like any type of charity, there's something called like the leaky bucket theory or leaky bucket, where if you give $1, it's very rare that even 90 cents of that is going all to the cause. So it's always important to check that out. My goal is to be very transparent with any charity that I'm, working with or supporting. I think truthfully, like I have like a 50% mindset. If they're taking more than 50%, that almost seems like it's unfair. But I think a nonprofit that actually gets at least 50 cents on the dollar to the people, that's a good effort. I'd love to see closer to like 75, but even me myself, I think when I was thinking about it, I'm like, 50-50, kind of split. I do think eventually when I get my books working and stuff like that, I don't want to charge a whole lot. I'd love to make them free and available to most people. But if there's some things that took a lot of my time, might charge like $1 a download, something like that. And then if there's like a soft cover or an actual physical book, charge the bare minimum basically and just donate 50% of all profits to charities of choice. So that's kind of my goals there. Gonna kind of wrap it up, hopefully quickly. Got like 2 minutes till I definitely want to be off. But my to-do list, like I said, bit off a lot more than I could chew. That's okay. I think I really got to be better about keeping the list smaller and just having maybe like an alternate list of like, okay, when they're all done, pull it in. Kind of think like a backlog in terms of like a scrum team and development and stuff like that. That was something that I kind of learned from the business world. And that's a way to solve all complex problems. So you think you want to just chunk it off in manageable amounts, get rid of them. You're better off bringing on new things rather than being overwhelmed by too many things. So that's the approach I want to do. I did bat 500, which I'm happy with. Want to celebrate that. I put a lot of stuff on this list, things I didn't want to do. Even here, like I'm not counting the oil change. I went down there and unfortunately I had a schedule for tomorrow, but I got it scheduled tomorrow. I'm going to get it done 11 a.m. So just really excited. That's kind of like a half done. And then also, yeah, like I still have a chance to work for about, a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And if I can tackle like two or three more things, that brings me even closer to batting like 800, 900 on in terms of my to-do list. So that would be awesome. Um, yeah, and one thing I'm working on that maybe everyone can take on is no longer like adding items to your to-do list midday. I think that's a little bit counterproductive. I think sometimes you're not necessarily thinking about it enough to take it on the smartest way, and sometimes that can kind of get you into trouble or make you fall behind. The way I want to end it before, I'll say thank you guys so much for the support. Thanks for keep watching. You guys help me do it every day. I appreciate people getting me in the gym. People in my circle have been great. Can't thank you enough. I'm gonna end with a little bit of like a poem here by an unknown author. It might be a poem or a saying. So it goes, in the journal of life, write the story only you can tell. Embrace change as the ink that transforms each page. Manifest your dreams with every word, for in the authenticity of your narrative, you discover the true essence of being yourself, the masterpiece only you can create. And that's just, it's about being yourself. It's about manifesting. I don't even know if that's like ChatGPT just came up with that or what. But yeah, it says unknown author. Thanks again for joining in. Glad it's not too long. For anyone who actually watches these whole things, really appreciate it. Even for people who just skip ahead, I get it. I probably do something similar. And, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you had a great day. And I'll be seeing you later this week. So thank you all so much. And bear with me while I kind of shut down all my broadcasts. I don't know, that's weird. Instagram made it seem like it wasn't even, I don't know. People were answering, but we'll see. All right, Facebook's off. And now it's time to say, peace out, YouTube and Twitch. That was